brief tutorial is going to show you how to use the color picker in Pena. The color picker is used to change colors, and colors appear throughout the Pena paint package. A most obvious place for the colors are right here on the control pane, where we have color 1 and color 2. Right now our only effect is to paint with color 1, and as you can see we are painting with white. If we want to change that color, we would tap the color we wish to change and the color picker appears. To dismiss the color picker, simply tap anywhere on the screen, including the canvas, and the color picker will disappear. The color picker has several regions of interest on it. The most important is right here. This rectangle is our original color. It is the color that we tapped, and it cannot be changed. Current color is the color we're going to set it to. If we're going to change the color to one of the other colors, it will appear here, and that is the final color when we dismiss the color picker. Around this we have ovals, and these are color palettes, and you use this to store your favorite colors. And then down here we have sliders, and you use these to dial in an exact color. You can dial it in by hue, saturation, and brightness, or red, green, blue, and alpha. And as you'll remember, alpha is our transparency color. To simply pick from our ovals, I just tap the oval and the current color changes immediately. So here I've picked red, and if I paint, we're immediately painting with red. We can see our color red is now on our control pane. Again, I could change to a different color, and immediately we are painting with that color. Again, we'll open up the color picker, and we can, if we want to, modify that green. For example, perhaps I want less blue in it. I'll take the blue slider and drag it down, and you can see that the color is now changed from the original, and we can paint. See how that is different. The hue slider changes the hue of the color. It goes through from red all the way up to red again, and all the colors in the rainbow in between. You can see as I change that slider, the other sliders are changing along with it to indicate how they interpret that same color. Saturation is the amount of color. It ranges from fully saturated, in other words 100% that color, to totally unsaturated. Unsaturated means there's no color whatsoever. Brightness is how bright, the intensity of that color, and it ranges from black, no brightness, to fully intense. Our red, green, and blue and alpha sliders allow us to set the individual channels for the color. For example, I could say I would like to see a little more red in that, a little less green, and a little less blue. We can also change the alpha, which is the transparency of the color. As we bring the alpha down, you will see that in our current color window, a checkerboard appears, and that indicates the amount of transparency for our particular color. You can change any of these with the sliders or by simply tapping the numbers on the left and using the keyboard to enter the information. On the right-hand side are hexadecimal numbers, which indicate the RGB values and the alpha value. This is not used in Pena, but is often used in making web pages, and this is just there for reference for people that are using this to make web pages. Colors in the picker can be changed. For example, to make your favorite palettes, you would take the current color that you just made, double tap and drag it and drop it on any of the other ovals, and it will immediately place that color into that oval. And that's how you would change these ovals to make your favorite palettes of color. Likewise, you can take an oval and drop it onto the current color, or just select it is the same. But we can also do things like take an oval and drop it onto one of the sliders. For example, take the hue from this oval and set it there, but I want the brightness from this here. So any of these can be combined in any way. The original color can also be dropped, but you cannot change the original color. Dropping onto it will do nothing. We also have the ability to have an eyedropper. I have a texture loaded. Let me just place it onto the screen. The eyedropper icon allows us to go onto the screen and choose the color. You see the round circle is showing the color that is underneath my finger. The circles to the right by default it's actually to the left. The settings allows you to change left-handed or not. If I change it to right-handed, and it defaults to right-handed, and use the eyedropper, the oval will now appear to the left of where my finger is, making it easier to see. If I change it to left-handed, the oval appears to the right of where my finger is. The oval will bounce as I approach the edge of the screen so that it's always visible. And that is the basics on how we use the color picker in Pena.